Okay, well, you are opening an ayahuasca center in Costa Rica. That's one of the things, or
Oh,
not an ayahuasca center, a center that is to integrate people that come from maybe journeys of ayahuasca or just people that want to disconnect from all this stuff that we're criticizing right now,
that's
and to
such
learn
a
about,
huge, yeah, that's such a huge gate you just opened. But
well, soprano style.
here's the 60 seconds. Um, I'm currently designing a multi-use property, which will be very welcoming to people of the plant community. But it's going to be a boutique resort that on the day to day is going to be a really nice place to stay if you're visiting La Fortuna, Arenal, Costa Rica. But in time, yeah, it's going to be a place that is going to embrace people of the plant community, ayahuasca, things like that, is really celebrated and loved here in Costa Rica legally. Um, and I have a huge belief that it is something that changes so many people's lives. And so I will be building a resort that at times can and will be used like as a wellness center to people that want to journey and travel and or be there before, during, or after their ceremony and actually, have an owner, manager, fellow human being on site that actually has a little bit of understanding perhaps of what they're going through because um, making huge um, uh, uh, making the huge step of choosing plant medicine and changing your life it's tough. It's a big decision getting up to it. It's a big journey during it if you go through plant ceremony, specifically ayahuasca. um, and then after, it takes time for you to not rush back into your life and your situation that put you into perhaps the place that made you feel like you wanted to get some help or something different. So that's my thing. I don't plan on working in ayahuasca full time, but I do absolutely plan to be a supporter of it and have a place that embraces people who you know, like I said, could be in, before, during, or after ceremony as well, because I believe it's life changing. And again, that's one of our huge commonalities, which maybe we'll talk more about next time. The name of the project is Royale 33. So you go to Royale, Royale 33.com. There's a starting page that describes a little bit about what the project is. It's very exciting right now. It's in the design stage. It's just fucking gorgeous. Like it's going to be something that's very high quality. And in the moment, like I don't have an ask in the moment. It's just really
Mm.
about finishing the design stage, and then it's got to go into, I mean, of course, approvals, financing, all those kind of things. So, overseas finance is very complicated, but we'll get to things like that later. But Royale 33, if you are watching now or if you're watching in 2029, take a look for us.
But you, as me, holding you accountable to bringing things into existence, like what is it that what is the timeline that you want to make sure that comes,
Right now, we're in
or
September of 2024. I am hoping to break ground by spring of 2025 on this project.
Mhm.
There,
breaking ground? But you already have a property, no?
yes,
So what does breaking ground mean?
meaning having approvals and actually like starting by, even if it's just building the first pillar of the first wall. It's
Okay. Oh,
uh,
but besides the property, the house, am I wrong to say that don't you have a house already in La Fortuna that this is like
no,
they're gonna be?
it's
Oh, okay.
completely
So you just have a
blank.
okay.
Clearly, he hasn't looked at the website himself, but
I thought I did. I
he's
saw the
not busy.
logo. I saw the maybe it's just a house that I saw
There
and
could be,
so
you could have seen like a farm off in the distance. Yes.
Okay, so there, so now you have the
When the
land and
when the
there's,
drone when the drone shot pulls out, like you're looking at like a square mile, and that's not all mine. It's,
I see, I see. Okay, so then you have the land and there's nothing built.
it's
And in
nothing
spring
done.
of, okay, so in spring 2025, you're gonna break ground, meaning you're just gonna start building. And for that to happen, you
That
need
is
to get,
that is my goal.
that's the goal.
I'm still again, I'm still a visitor. My son's about
Yeah,
to be 3, and I'm still waiting on my immigration status. And I'm still like, there's a lot of things that are out of my control, but what's in my control is to talk about it and the purpose, and for us to talk about plant medicine and all of those great things.
just talking about it and make sure that it doesn't die, this flame
Oh,
that
of
you have
course.
for it.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. So keep the fire alive by
Of course.
reminding. Okay, got it. No, it's perfect. So like, why is this, reminding why is this the important thing with your purpose, keeping you like fired up to do this because the process is so long and there's so many things that are outside of your
Of
control that it kind of
course. And
like diminishes.
it's just a microcosm of any of our lives, right? Like
Right.
what was the old saying? What was it? Was it John Lennon that said, life is what happens when you're busy doing other things?
Yeah.
So I believe I'm quoting that right.
I don't know if it was him, but I remember that I've heard this quote. Yeah.
But that's it. Like if I don't stay laser focused on what's moving my heart and what I know will create jobs and change people's lives, if I can't keep my foot on the gas for that every day, of course.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for you,
Thank
to
you.
keep you on track and to keep reminding you that what you're doing is very valuable. It was very valuable to me to do plant medicine and to integrate what I learned or what I opened up in plant medicine was incredibly important. And philosophy was one of the things that was able to help me integrate all of it. And having a place to stay, like like the place that you've told me that you're creating, sounds like an incredible contribution to the world. So I'm here to support it for sure.
That's my goal. I mean, that's my thing. You know, that's the mark I want to leave. You know, like there are other people that are, you know, fantastic at administering medicine, at being, you know, building a facility, you know, that you know, solely caters to you know, facilitating medicine and having wonderful shamans come, and then there's all sorts of like infrastructure, you know, that does all of that. I love all that, but that's I don't want to be that. I want to be, you know, another. It's like the Western, you know. When I talk about this with people, I talk about like the Western medical system, for example, right? So like
Mm.
Jorge, you know, God forbid, you know, gets in an accident today, right? And somebody sees the accident and they call 911. 911 is a system in place, right? 911 gets in contact with an ambulance. Ambulance is on call, is a system, right? Then Jorge gets in the ambulance and he's taken to a medical center. A medical center is a system that's already in place. And then he's assigned a doctor, and then he's hurt and he needs physical therapy, and then he's assigned a rehab doctor, and then he's prescribed medicine from pharmacist, which is a system, right? And then weeks and weeks go by and you're rehabbing your body because of the injury that you sustained. All of those things are a system, right, of the Western medical system. When it comes to ayahuasca and plant medicine, it's my observation that not all the systems are there. Not that we need all of that exactly, right? But like when someone's having a problem, like where's that information, and where are those information systems that are showing people there's more than one way to get to psychological issues or traumas other than calling a therapist or watching YouTube or something like that, right?
Mm.
And you know, and then perhaps if you find ayahuasca like I did, and you visit a great retreat center. I mean, Rhythmia is one of my favorite places. I absolutely love Jerry Powell and here in Costa Rica. And then after that, then what? You know, then you know, it's also my experience that you need rehab after your ayahuasca retreats. And most ayahuasca places, they're not all exactly the same, But most, when you finish X amount of days of your ceremony, then it's kind of like time to move on because their focus is the ceremonies, right? And so that's why, like I said, I want to sort of be this idea for people who are thinking of medicine during medicine or after medicine, and you're in a very vulnerable state, and it's like it's a place where um, it's important to be in a supportive environment. And
Yeah.
that's not all this place is going to be, but it's going to help. It's going to be a place. It's sort of like if you think about if you grew up, long ago, perhaps there was if you were walking home from school and your parents weren't home, like you knew someone's mom was home on the street if you needed to
Yeah.
stop by for something, right? It's like it was a
That's how I grew up. Yeah.
right? So it's like it was
Yeah.
it was a feeling of safety and security, right? And I really believe in this process, and so it's just an idea of just sort of putting a beacon on, saying like, hey, you're welcome here if you're part of the plant community, and happy to be of service of whatever I can with my limited experience in this vast, gorgeous, unimaginable universe that we happen to be playing in right now. I'll just put the light on and have a little beacon of saying, you know what, we'll support you here, you know.
Yeah, it's important because, when you go into the plant medicine, like everything shatters, right? Everything just kaboosh.
Mhm.
And then if you go back to your normal job, you're like putting the plane back together and trying to fix, and you like the life change might be massive in such a way that like you need time to land, you need time to like pick up the pieces, and people that have experienced this Pandora box opening to help you into something that is like feels authentic to you, to your new self, to your new an understanding of self, right? Not your new self, you're still yourself, but it's a deeper understanding, maybe a new understanding, maybe not deeper, but a new understanding of what you are, what your place is in the universe, what you want to do with the rest of your life. Now that you realize that, whatever the realization is, right? And that the time here is limited, and that it doesn't really matter. Money doesn't really matter that much. It matters, but not that much. And other things matter much more. Relations with people,
Yes.
acting well in the world, faring well.
Mm. See, yeah. I would love to take like the last like like 2 minutes of this and sort of like catapult us to our next visit
Yeah.
because there's all sorts of debate even on that. Leaving a mark, is that egotistical? Like that we can we will come back, but like yeah, thank you for getting me to the point of discussing that, and yeah, I think we have we have so many things to talk about. I think we'll pick up next week with maybe plant medicine.
Interesting.
I love you, my friend. Thank you
Love you too.
for being a part of starting this conversation. And yeah, we'll continue.
Sounds good.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.